Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, we'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC 297, Strickland versus Du Plessis. But before we get into the predictions, we're going to recap last week's card very briefly. So last week, the first card of the year, I went 7-4 on predictions, which is, pretty solid. Could do better, want to do better, and definitely going to do better. So that's pretty okay. The public parlay didn't hit. Nolan definitely screwed me on the my public parlay. And he definitely messed me up in a lot of my other bets. So actually, I started the year off with negative $77. A little bit less than a unit. So it is what it is. But it's the first card of the year. It was the first card of the year, and it's a whole long year to go. And I'm definitely gonna rebound. So one little loss, one little negative, especially now, that don't define me. Especially where as big as my goals are, that $77 is gonna be right back in my wallet, and I already made yeah. I'm going to say it's coming back to me 100,000-fold. But yeah. What about you, NickyBets?
Yeah, I did really good. I went 8-3. A few of the fights, I guess they just didn't happen because we didn't see Manel Cobb or Caitlin Vieira, which I would have liked to see both of them fight. But other than that, yeah, I did well. The Tom Nolan one kind of bit me a little bit, but I try to practice not putting rookies in all my that was his debut, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, his debut.
Yeah, so besides that, I did really well. I kind of had a feeling like, bro, anything can happen if you're not on your game, like what happened with Matt Frivola, man. I feel really bad, but I guess it happens. That's a sport. People, you know what I mean? No matter, you think something and then something else happens. But I did over 1.5 on the Joshua Van fight. That hit. I did money line Tom Nolan. That didn't hit. And then I did money line Gene Silva. Money line free Basha over 1.5 in that. The next fight, Marcus McGee over 1.5. Over 1.5, Matthew Semmelsberger. Money line Waldo Cortez Acosta. Fight not to go the distance in the Phil Haas fight. That was you, because I didn't even take the time to look at their fight time. So when you reminded me of it, I looked at it. I was like, yeah, that fight's definitely not going the distance. That's what I had on it. And then I did money line for Batista. I did money line for Miller, but I also did money line for Gabriel Benitez and money line for Ricky Simone, just because I thought that was probably the only toss up on the card. So I bet it 4 different ways. And then over 1.5 in the Nicholas fight, the Manel Cobb, fight. That didn't happen. And then over 1.5 Magomed. So I only missed one bet this week. I was on a high, man. It felt great to know that I still got it even at the beginning of 2024, so I'm excited.
All right, cool. Now we get into the predictions. So in our first fight on the card, we have in the flyweight division, we got Malcolm Gordon versus Jimmy Flick. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence on Malcolm Gordon beat Jimmy Flick. I feel like they match up pretty well, and I feel like Malcolm Gordon's better. Maybe you fear BJJ, maybe Jimmy Flick is better, maybe. Especially maybe when before he started the downtrend, maybe he'll be the better BJJ practitioner. But I feel like Malcolm Gordon is the much more diverse striker, the much more diverse fighter. His record shows it. Jimmy Flick, I don't think he even has a single drop in his whole career, let alone a knockout. He don't have a single knockout career, so he hasn't really shown no ability to finish. He's definitely not a one-dimensional fighter, but he hasn't really shown any big threat on the feet or no ability to finish the fight with his striking. So he's pretty much largely a grappler. And Malcolm Gordon is a black belt. We've seen the Mokai fight. He was suplexing Mokai, had him a couple of deep submissions at end of rounds where he could have finished Mokai, who's a very exceptional talent. So despite Malcolm Gordon, being who he is, I feel like when you look at Malcolm Gordon, when he typically loses fights, he's one of the more technical fighters in the weight class. But it's like his chin and sometimes his defense. And Jimmy Flick don't really present that threat to him. Jimmy Flick just presents BJJ, which I feel like Malcolm Gordon can address. I feel like I feel like, again, Malcolm Gordon is the one that has the threats on the feet, whereas Jimmy Flick's largely not much of a threat on the feet. So I think Gordon was able to cancel out the grappling, turn into a striking match, and put him away first round. So in this one, I have Malcolm Gordon via first round TKO. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to bet this fight is fight to knock out the distance. Malcolm Gordon's fight time 6 minutes 13 seconds, and Jimmy Flick's is 6 minutes 47 seconds. I have average confidence Malcolm Gordon to win as well. I think he's just technically a little bit better, a little bit more fine-tuned, and I think that, Canadians have generally done good on their home soil. So I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited for the Marc-Andre Barriault fight with Chris Curtis. So I'm going to just go average confidence, Jimmy Flick, but I will bet this one, not fight to not go the distance.
So you say first you say average confidence Malcolm Gordon, and then you just say average confidence Jimmy Flick. So you going Jimmy Flick?
Sorry, yeah, no, average confidence, Malcolm Gordon to beat Jimmy Flick.
All right, cool. Now on to our next one. We have in the women's flyweight division, we got Jasudavicius versus Priscilla Cachoeira. How I feel about this one right here is I'm going high confidence Jasudavicius to beat Priscilla Cachoeira. Yeah, high confidence Jasudavicius. I just feel like Priscilla Cachoeira has never shown, she has not shown a great track record of beating grapplers, especially not solid grapplers like Jasudavicius. Davicius has, shown, matter of fact, I don't think she's been out wrestled by anyone in the UFC just yet. She fought Trace Cortez in a very close fight, and I think Cortez didn't get a single takedown. It was like 2-0. Cortez actually won with her striking. But, Cortez has the wrestling to keep the fight standing, the wrestling to, match her enough to, that she was able to edge a close fight. But Cachoeira don't have the wrestling defense or the grappling like that. I think she can make it interesting a little bit, maybe with a couple initial takedown defended, but I think, or eventually she's going to get taken down, controlled. Yeah, she also has a win over Miranda Maverick, where she shut her down and out wrestled her, out grappled her, out struck her. And Miranda Maverick just coming off a win over Priscilla Cachoeira, which she dominated her. So, MMA math is a big factor. I mean, it sounds like a lot of MMA math, but stylistically, while Jasudavicius has shown to be a good grappler, and she has, I think, averaged at least like 2 takedowns on average per fight. So I think that's more than enough to beat Cachoeira. I think she could get it out of distance or win by decision, but I'm leaning to end it this. I think this is a fight where she's coming off a close loss, and she'll come in here like, I lost to Trace Cortez by a slim margin. Her strike will be sharper, and she's going to be able to mix up the striking, get it to the ground, and look to get a finish. Because somebody you beat, matter of fact, dominated, and Miranda Maverick just dominated her, so you can't go out there and have a lesser performance. I think she's going to fight smart. If the finish doesn't materialize, she's not going to be able to try and chase and risk losing to try to outdo someone she's already dominated. So she's going to take the decision if it's there, but I feel like she's going to look for a finish, and I think she gets that finish. And I'm looking at a second-round submission for Jasudavicius. So in this one, I have Jasudavicius via second-round submission. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, the way I'm looking at this fight is Priscilla is going to be a little bit more active in the beginning and kind of pushing the pace a little bit. And I see Jasmine just weathering the storm until she can kind of get some type of control. And she definitely either wears her out and taps her, or just makes her sweat for 15 minutes after, 5 minutes 20 seconds, the fight turns into Jasudavicius's corner and she takes control. You know what I mean? That's the way I see the fight going. It's MMA, so anything can happen. I wouldn't count Priscilla out at maybe a Bo Nickel. There's certain people like Cody Brundage he's about to fight. I think he can beat Cody Brundage. I don't think there's anywhere that Cody's going to pose a problem to him, unless he comes in there so cocky and, does something stupid, which I just don't see happening. He's a smart kid. But I do got medium to high confidence in Jasmine to wear her down and possibly tap her. I do like the over 1.5, and her loss, I definitely think will bring some character to her against that she lost when she lost against Tracy Cortez. But I do like Jasmine, and she made me money against Miranda Maverick, and I gotta support her in this one. I think she can get it done. So in this one, I got medium to high average confidence in Jasudavicius to probably get it done by 3rd round sub.
You said medium to high to average. You gotta say
medium,
is it high?
Sorry, medium to high, not medium to high to average. Yeah. Medium to high.
All right.
I have a strong confidence in her to get it done.
All right, that's good. I like that. All right, now to our next one. We have in the welterweight division, we got Jourdain Lainesse versus Sam Patterson. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Sam Patterson, low confidence to beat Jourdain Lainesse. Can't put very much confidence in a guy who just got starched in his first fight. His first fight, his debut fight. In the first minute or so, he got knocked out. Now he's going up with a guy who's aggressive, guy looking to finish you in the first round, in Jourdain Lainesse. But yeah, I'm not particularly high on either guy, but Jourdain Lainesse has been a guy who has consistently shown bad cardio. Come out strong in the first round. Still not the best technique in the first round. Forcing takedowns, swinging big shots, over swinging. And Patterson's coming up from the lightweight division to welterweight division, so that should help his chin somewhat, his durability somewhat. It's not like Jourdain Lainesse is really like a legit super heavy hitter, to be honest. Got okay power, but nothing like super crazy. So I think coming up this weight class is going to help Jourdain Lainesse's chin. Not Jourdain Lainesse. I think it's going to help Sam Patterson's chin. And I think he's going to be good enough to be able to extend Sam Patterson, not Sam, he's going to be good enough to extend Jourdain Lainesse out of the first round, then start to, work more in that second round, start to wear him down, and then tap him out late in that second round, and Jourdain Lainesse starts to gas. So in this one, I got Sam Patterson via second round submission. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, there's not a lot to work with Sam Patterson and Jourdain Lainesse. I did like Ashmos, the guy who beat Sam Patterson. I was really impressed by him. He just came out like a lightning bolt, and I think maybe I'm not gonna bet this one just because I don't have extremely high confidence in either fighter. I'm gonna lean Jourdain Lainesse, but like you said, I think coming up is gonna help his chin. Cutting an extra 15 pounds can definitely be hard. So I'll lean Jourdain Lainesse, but I won't bet this. It's very low confidence, and I do like Sam Patterson as well.
All right, cool. Now to our next one. We have in the women's strawweight division, we got Jillian Robertson versus Poliana Viana. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence, Jillian Robertson to beat Poliana Viana. Similar levels, but I feel like Jillian Robertson has the cleaner path to victory, and also Poliana Viana is coming off a fight where she lost by submission, so that looks good for Jillian Robertson. It's not like Poliana Viana has ever shown like super solid takedown defense. So I think Robertson should be able to find takedowns. I think on the ground, I think she's clearly the better grappler. Striking could be a little bit interesting, but I feel like Robertson has been in it with better strikers. I think she'll be able to hold her own on the feet enough that she'll be able to find those grappling opportunities. And I think she'll fully capitalize off those grappling opportunities. So in this one, I'm looking more so at like a second round submission for Jillian Robertson. Let the fight kind of materialize a little bit, get a little bit of filling out in that first round. Then second round, really look to fully sink in the choke submission or whatever she could find. Probably more so like a joint submission. Second round for Jillian Robertson. So in this one, I got Jillian Robertson via second round submission. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, we got a grappler versus grappler fight in this one. I see it being competitive at first because, the first 7 minutes and 30 seconds, it's easy to wear yourself out as well as learn what you need to do to win. I think Jillian Robertson's just a little bit better. She 75% of her wins cut by sub, 62 for Paula Viana. She also gets some knockouts. So I think if Jillian Roberts isn't careful, I think Poliana can keep it on the feet. She might be in trouble. I don't know. But I do see this being like a high level Brazilian jiu-jitsu match between two people that, this is what they do for a living. This is what they love to do. And I maybe a little bit of grappling, a little bit of ground and pound here and there, but I think it's going to be a lot of clinching and moving and, maneuvering. So I got low confidence Jillian Robertson to beat Paula Viana, probably by second round sub. I agree with that.
All right, cool. Now to our next one. We have in the bantamweight division, we got Sergey City versus Ramon Tavares, and just the rematch. So 2. So Sergey City versus Ramon Tavares 2, the rematch. Half of this one right here is I'm going Sergey City average confidence to beat Ramon Tavares. Yes, the confidence could be higher. He knocked you out the first time before, but it's just one of those fights where even despite him winning the first one, it still feels like anything can happen. But I feel like he should win, so that's kind of like he should win. So that's like he should win average confidence. I think it's going to be a similar fight, but I think it's going to be a little bit longer. I think Roman Tavares will come out steam a little bit, probably like, oh, maybe he did get better. Maybe he should do. But I think the fight starts to settle in a little bit more. He's still kind of out there overextending. Like early on, he'll be landing big shots, but when Surrey City's still there in front of him and still staying focused, and Ramon Tavares starts to overswing and overcommit like he does and has done in the past in wins and losses, I think it's going like Surrey City's going to start to find shots better, and Roman Tavares is going to start to overswing, start to miss, start to leave himself open up for counter shots, and I think he's going to start to walk in and fall into shots from Surrey City. And, when you fall into shots, you're going to get hit with like twice the impact, on double the impact. Going to start seeing wobble, start seeing him start to, momentum start to drop, start to go to the back foot, and start to shell up. Alpha start to drop, and then that's when Surrey City's going to turn it up, and he's going to get him out of there. And I'm looking at like a second round TKO for Surrey City. So a longer fight than the first fight, but this extended version of the first fight I felt. So in this one, I have Surrey City via second round TKO. So in this one, Surrey City via second round TKO. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna ride that. I'm gonna bet that come Friday, Saturday. I'll definitely bet second round TKO for Surrey City. I believe you couldn't have put it together better. I think Ramon Tavares can definitely pose problems, and I've heard that. I saw that in the Discord chat. People were talking about it, and I do think Ramon could be dangerous, but I think Surrey City's just probably going to do the same thing he did the last time around. And I don't know when that happens, but I have a high confidence in second round. It could happen. I'm not, I wouldn't bet my house on it, but I would definitely put some money down on Surrey City for second round TKO. So in this one, I'm going easy confidence, high confidence for Surrey City to knock out Ramon Tavares in the second round.
All right, cool. Now to our next one. We have in the featherweight division, we got Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. And I feel about this one right here. I'm going average confidence Charles Jourdain to beat Sean Woodson. Yeah, Sean Woodson. Average confidence. I feel like Woodson, I really can't get behind him. Like his fight prior to his absence, he was getting picked apart and should have lost, should have got stopped over time. Then he came back and beat a fighter who quickly lost pretty much all his win value from beating that guy because he got picked apart and stopped real quick in his fight, following his fight with Woodson. So yeah, I can't really back that win too much. Like it don't really rank too much. Might as well beat a guy who got brought in on short notice from like a regional scene that wasn't very good. We kind of brought in to lose. Basically, how that his last win has devalued so soon. And Jourdain has been fighting solid competition, winning, beating him stylistic matchup that would in the past have actually beaten him. In the past, people that have grappled with him have been like past the victory. He just submitted a grappler in his fight. I think he had like 2 wins over grapplers recently where he submitted them trying to wrestle. So he's been improving. Sean Woodson, like, yes, he's solid and whatnot, but he hasn't shown anything like super impressive or new lately. He's been absent, and he took a fighter that wasn't all that good to a decision. That's what it looks like now. So he got his feet wet, but a little more than that, he didn't make no statements. Whereas Jourdain hasn't making statements, and Jourdain has fought similar fighters. I think Andre Ewell was really like a bantamweight, but still similar frame, similar style. And I think he could approach the fight in a similar way. He could attack the inside leg, attack the outside leg, take away the jab, then look to land counters. Is Woodson has shown in his prior fight we was getting countered like all day long, getting rocked and wobbled multiple times. And I'm gonna lean to a decision victory for Charles Jourdain, but I definitely think he's gonna take away that lead leg and take away the jab, which Woodson loves so much. Turn it against him. And just look to outstrike, outwork him, and beat him by decision. Also, we look at Jourdain, and really all the fights he's lost in, the fights he lost in, it's been fights where he's been taken down at least once or twice, and Woodson hasn't really shown no solid takedown offense consistently. He's more so a striker. He's shown okay takedown offense, but he hasn't shown really consistent takedown offense. And I think Jourdain, again, especially with his improvements, is like not gonna have any issues with that, and that's not really even a path that I think Woodson's gonna look to win in the fight. So looking at a decision victory for Charles Jourdain. So in this one, I got Charles Jourdain via decision. Now over to NickyBets.
I really like Charles Jourdain. I've been impressed with him with his last 3 fights. I do agree he's come a long way from when I started watching him till now, because beating Kron Gracie, and I know Kron's not really the most active striker, but like he wrestled with Kron Gracie, which is, you know what I mean? His dad's a legend. His family's a legend. So I have a lot of respect for how he was able to negate that from Kron Gracie, his last fight. I mean, I've just been so impressed. And Sam Woodson, like like you said, he hasn't been that impressive. If he can beat Charles Jourdain, I would be very impressed, to be honest with you. But for Charles Jourdain, this is kind of like a stepping stone to bigger and better things, because he's come a long way, and since I started watching him, and I truly think if he continues doing what he's doing, he's just going to get better and better, and it's going to be fun to watch him. I got easy medium confidence, Charles Jourdain to beat Sam Woodson. I think if he can, just do what he does best and figure out what he needs to do in the ring, it'll be easy money. But yeah, so I got medium confidence, Charles Jourdain, probably by decision. I'm probably going to bet the over 1.5 in this one as well. I think Sam Woodson is tough. I think he can be. So I don't think it's going to be an easy win.
All right. Now to our next one, we have in our prelim headliner, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Brad Katona versus Garrett Armfield, and definitely one that been a lot of talk about in Discord between me and with NBA Young Goat or NBA Young Boy or
NBA Young Goat,
yeah, he definitely loves Garrett Armfield here, but I'm going Brad Katona high confidence to beat Garrett Armfield. Garrett Armfield might be young, you're 28 versus like 32. But 32 is like right in your prime, versus 28, like you haven't touched your prime, you're like 2 years off from that. And Garrett Armfield has not shown the ability to beat anyone good. He beat Kazama, who's really on the fast track to be cut and shouldn't even be in the UFC. He dominated him, and that don't mean nothing. And outside that, we look at his record. Anybody that's decent, a name that you recognize, they beat him pretty dominantly. So it's not like he has really any track record. And Katona, a 2-time Ultimate Fighter winner, and both of those times he has beaten solid competition. Like to win the first Ultimate Fighter, he submitted Bryce Mitchell in the house, so legit competition. Beat what's his name? That one Russian fighter whose name I'm forgetting right now. He beat him. And you could argue that he lost, but I feel like he beat him. He outworked him. And similar to his finale against Cody Gibson. Oh, you can argue he lost, but in both those fights, he outdogged his opponent and outworked him and beat him down the stretch. That's why he won. He outworked him, outdogged him. So, yes, they were tough competition, but those legit, Tamir Valiev, so legit competition, but he beat legit competition. You can't say Cody Gibson has not beat one single legit opponent yet in his whole life. Not in amateurs, not in pros. He fought Onama the first time. You come out, rematches, he getting better. He fought Onama in amateurs, it went to a draw. He fought, it went to a decision for Onama. He fought Onama again, he got submitted, so he ain't getting much better. I'll go Brad Katona. I just feel like, what did I say? Second round submission? Yeah, second round submission. Brad Katona. I just feel like, and also with Armfield, I see a sign that most of his finished fights that he has won have gone earlier. But when he goes beyond the first round, even against mediocre competition, he struggles going beyond. So he hasn't really shown a great gas tank or excellent IQ at stretching his, pacing himself. So I just feel like Brad Katona is just going to outwork him. Just, match it pretty well, but Brad Katona is more experienced and better in every area of this game than him. I think he'll be able to extend him out the first round, outwork him, break him down. And, I'm going to switch it to third round. I'm going to say third round TKO instead of submission. So third round TKO for Brad Katona, just wear him down, break him down, take him to deep waters and drown him. 2 hands on the neck, put him in the water, strangle him, drown him in the water. Third round TKO for Brad Katona. So in this one, I got Brad Katona be a third round TKO. Not up to NickyBets.
I could see why someone would want to go with Garrett Armfield. He's younger. It looks like he could be hungrier. He's off a win, but so is Brad Katona. And like you said, Brad Katona's fought some people. Like he has some names on his belt, and which is impressive. Why he hasn't popped yet, I don't know. But hopefully this will be his coming out party, and he'll be able to, put that veteran record on the belt, you know what I mean? Show people that why he belongs. I think he could get it done, and if he gets it done, it's going to be easy money. He's minus 192, so I'm liable to pick it either way, but I think Brad Katona is an easy pick. I think he doesn't get a lot of TKOs. Most of his come by decision, and most of all of Garrett Armfield's come by either TKO or sub. So I think because he's fought to so many decisions, something's going to happen. So I'll probably bet inside the distance as well. But I got easy money, medium confidence, Brad Katona to beat Garrett Armfield by third round sub.
All right. Now to our first fight on the main card, we have in the featherweight division, we got Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Movsar Evloev to beat what's his name? Arnold Allen. Average confidence, Movsar Evloev to beat Arnold Allen. I think Arnold Allen's a solid fighter, but I'd go back to the Masvidal fight, which is a good number of years away. I mean, good number of years back. And he did win the fight. He did tap him out, so it's not like you can say, oh, he lost the fight. But I feel like Masvidal was able to have a lot of success wrestling him. And he hasn't really fought anyone that really wanted to wrestle him outside of, what's his name? Oh, Nick Lentz. I think he fought Nick Lentz, but he fought like an older Nick Lentz. And Nick Lentz is a solid fighter, but I don't think Nick Lentz is Movsar Evloev level. I don't think so. And they both fought Evloev, and they both fought Nick Lentz and what's his name? Yeah, they both fought Nick Lentz, and Arnold Allen had a better performance. I forget who fought him first, but yeah, that's in the past. But I'm going more so to the wrestling department, and I feel like Movsar Evloev has been doing more lately, in my opinion. And I feel like, again, he's undefeated as well. And I think he will be able to have success in the wrestling. I think his submission skills or submission defense is solid enough to avoid the chokes of Arnold Allen. And I don't really respect the arm bars and triangle chokes of Arnold. I think he'll respect him. He'll have to respect him. And I think he will be more than prepared for any submission grappling that Arnold Allen brings. And I think he'll be able to have successful wrestling. And I think he'll also be able to surprise Arnold Allen in the striking part. I think his strike is actually sharper than Arnold Allen. Allen might carry more power with his strikes and whatnot, maybe have a little better footwork. But I think, as far as striking technique, I think Movsar Evloev actually has a cleaner striking technique. I feel like a lot of times, I just feel like like Arnold, a lot of shots are loopy and clubbing instead of not real clean. I feel like Evloev actually has the cleaner strikes. And I think, again, the cleaner strikes, he'll be able to surprise Arnold Allen a little bit on the feet. Then I think that will allow him to mix up better. And then once you start mixing up, I think it'll give him better success. Like, you can get the takedowns, the striking looks better. Your striking looks good, you can get the takedowns. I think there will be that type of effect. Very close fight. But I think Movsar Evloev will probably be the winner, a close decision, maybe like a split decision. But I think a clear enough decision, in my opinion. But, probably a split decision. But he'll be able to keep the striking close, mixing the takedowns, take away, get control time against the cage, control time on the ground, and win a close decision, probably with like a 4-punch, 4-strike, or significant strike differential, maybe 5 to 10. But probably like a 4 to 5 significant strike differential. And then maybe 2, 3 takedowns to maybe 1 or zip. So in this one, I got Movsar Evloev via decision. Not up to NickyBets.
This fight is, I think, one of the, people are lucky to be able to watch this. Like the Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich on the UFC 295 card. I was extremely happy with that add-on, and that's partially why I went, because I like Yuri Prohaska and I like Aspinall. I think they're both incredible fighters. I like Alex Pereira too, and I also like Sergey Pavlovich, but I think this is like a gem. This should have been like a fight night, or this could have even been like because it's going to be a really competitive fight. It's going to be two very high level fighters at the top of their game. 19-2, 17-0, and like everything's on the line. Whoever wins this could definitely fight for the belt next after Ilya Topuria. Like I would want to if it's as competitive and as magnificent as I imagine in my head, which I imagine them, one person getting over a little bit on the other, and then the other person getting a little bit over on the other, like just gaining position, losing position, getting ahead on the scorecards, but I see Movsar Evloev just pulling a little bit further ahead. I see him doing a little bit more for the judges to be able to score it towards him. But I think if both guys aren't careful, anything can happen. But at the same time, I think this is this fight right here is like the Tom Aspinall versus Sergey. But you don't really know what's going to happen. I believed in Tom Aspinall. Nobody else did. He was plus money when I grabbed him. I couldn't have been happier with that. But I do like Movsar Evloev to win. I might bet it both ways, depending on how close the odds get, because right now, Arnold Allen is just squeaking a little bit behind, so I might just grab it. I don't know. But I got medium to low confidence, and I know that that's a very wide spectrum, but I think Movsar Evloev just pulls ahead a little bit more. So in this one, I got Movsar Evloev probably by decision.
Now to our next fight we have in the middleweight division. We got Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. In hospital with this one right here. I say right here. Hospital with this one right here is I'm going Marc-Andre Barriault. Low confidence to beat Chris Curtis. So Chris Curtis is a solid fighter, but he's been having his ups and downs. It's in Canada, so I think this is going to motivate Andre Barriault. I think Barriault's a good dog here. And that's mainly why I'm picking him. He's a good dog for this fight. More so than I'm just picking, I don't know. I'm yapping too much, but anyway, yeah, Chris Curtis, he kind of like he's still looking for that one punch. You know, they keep saying every single fight, just have fun, just have fun. Oh, he's training, he's feeling good, he's feeling in shape, and just have fun. He's gonna be your best Chris Curtis. They've been saying the same exact name for couple fights now, and he's been losing some fights. He should have lost the Maibol fight, but he got away with that one. Then he fought Kelvin Gastelum. Like, no, that one was a no contest in my fight, but he was clearly getting dominated. He wasn't going to win that one. So he got lucky by getting away with that. Then the Gastelum fight, for the Gastelum, like on like a 9-fight losing streak, and he managed to give Gastelum a win. Then Gastelum down there, welterweight got tooled. So it hasn't really been a good look for Chris Curtis in a good little minute now. And he's too caught up on landing that big shot instead of really. He never really been that fighter, or at least not recently, that fighter that was really work behind combinations consistently, consistent output. Like typically guy maybe 1-2 combinations, looking for that big shot, looking for that lapse in you, and he definitely could find that. But I think when you're looking for the Chris Curtis angle, you look at Barriault's one fight where he lost by TKO to Chidi Njokuani. So his whole UFC career, he's only been dropped once and finished once, and that was both by Chidi Njokuani. It was the same knockout. So he only been dropped one time. And in that one drop, he was finished one time by Chidi Njokuani, who's a longer, lankier, technical striker. So it's not like he has a track record have been chinny and track record been, finished by strikes. He's been pretty solid in winning most of his striking matches. With anything, he's been losing close fights and primarily by grappling. And Chris Curtis don't really bring much grappling, so I think Barriault should be able to take him out of the first round and outwork him. Barriault is a volume striker, and Chris Curtis, a guy looking for, I guess 1/10, where Barriault would throw 10 instead of that one shot. Barriault would throw volume, so it's like a volume versus a guy looking to land one shot. I think Barriault can address that one shot, take him out of the first round, and then I'll work him down the stretch and win a close decision on home soil in Canada and get his hometown victory. So in this one, I got Marc-Andre Barriault via decision. None of which NickyBets.
I like that. I think Chris Curtis at number 14. I think because he'll fight anybody. They give him his number, and I respect that. He's built like a truck. The dude's just a tank of a man. So like if he could learn how to let that go the same way Sean Strickland has, I think he could do great things. I think in this fight, he's not going to have every tool that he needs, and I think Marc-Andre Barriault's going to expose that. But I do think Chris Curtis puts up a valiant effort. I think he fights hard. I think it's a tough fight for both fighters, and Marc-Andre Barriault is going to find out pretty quickly that he's not just going to steal a win. That's just my opinion. But I got low confidence Marc-Andre Barriault by decision. I'll probably bet the over 1.5 in this one. I do like it because they both have significant fight time. So.
All right, cool. Now on to our next one. We have in the middleweight division, we got Neil Magny versus Mike Mallott. And how I feel about this one right here, or Mayotte. But yeah, how I feel about this one right here is I got average confidence Mike Mayotte to beat Neil Magny. Really, why the confidence is just average is because Mike Mayotte, he's still fresh in the game, fresh in the UFC. He's not fresh in the game. He's been around MMA a long time. He's 32 years old. He's right in his prime. Neil Magny kind of pushing 40. But yeah, Mike Mayer's right in his prime. But as far as like this is his real first like true legit, solid ranked fighter like Neil Magny, true veteran of the game. And that leaves opportunities for Neil Magny to pull off that veteran type victory where, he might be able to extend Mayotte out of the first round and a half and then be able to wear him down, maybe even finish him late. But yeah, that's the concern. Like, Mayotte, people say, oh, he gives me signs of having bad cardio or whatever, but he has not looked tired or fatigued in any of these fights. He's fought smart in every single fight. He has not shown any cardio. I don't think he'll have any legit cardio issues at all. He doesn't show it. And the fact that he was a former lightweight and come at welterweight, typically when you fight at lower weight class and they show no cardio issues, now you fight in a higher weight class, you're not going to have no cardio issues. Typically not. Unless you go up, you got a big gut on you, you fight at middleweight or light heavyweight is a guy that was a former lightweight. Then you carry around extra weight and then you get tired. But you're still looking lean and trim and you grew into your welterweight body. You typically going to have probably better cardio than the average welterweight. So I think his cardio is solid. He hasn't had to use it, but he hasn't shown no signs of having bad cardio. I will probably bet $200 he don't have bad cardio. But yeah, I'm picking Mayotte to win in the distance. I think in like a second round submission, that's my favorite round and that's my favorite method for this card. But second round submission make Mayotte, he got to fill out the fight a little bit. I think he, continue to improve upon his striking, set up his strikes, and then look for those takedowns. I think on the ground he could dominate Magny. Magny has had a terrible track record with grapplers. I don't know where this thing where he's so good against grapplers. He's not. He's like 0-6 versus grapplers, especially BJJ black belts. Like they have two of them. on the ground every single time, made like he never trained a day of BJJ in his life. So he doesn't have a good track record against grapplers. It's terrible, actually. But yeah, Mike may be able to extend him out the first round, take him to the ground, and submit him. But again, it's that whole concern about this is his first big test. This is not his second, third, fourth, fifth big test. This is his first big test. That's the concern. But I think he'll be able to pass it with flying colors. I think everything's moving in momentum. He's right in his prime. Magny's pushing 40. May has the better grappler. Magny struggles with grapplers. And I may have striking improvements, so that would be able to help him set it up, get it to the ground, and tap Magny out second round. So in this one, I got Mike Mayotte via second round submission. Now over to NickyBets.
I'm really happy with this fight. I think it's a huge test for Mike. I do like Mike in this one. I also like Neil Magny. I think he's like you said, he's a true veteran. But I just think Mike is a little bit younger, a little bit stronger, and a little bit faster, and that's going to dictate this fight. I don't know if he gets subbed. I wouldn't bet money against it. I don't know if I'm going to bet money on it, but I'll have to watch a little bit more tape to see if I think that he can have what it takes to just take Neil Magny out. But I like Mike Mayotte in this one. I was impressed by his last fight. Like you said, he hasn't done too much, hasn't seen too much, so there's nothing really to go off of regarding what that he's fought. 5 top 15 fighters or top 20 fighters even. This is a big test for him, and I think he does pass. I wouldn't say with flying colors, because it might get a little bit ugly if he's not careful. But yeah, I got Mike Mayotte in this one. I'll do by decision.
Decision. All right. Now on to our co-main event. We have in the women's bantamweight division for the undisputed women's bantamweight champion. We got Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva. So they're fighting for Amanda Nunes scraps her former belt. The belt's vacated, and how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Mayra Bueno Silva, high confidence to beat Raquel Pennington. Raquel Pennington is a solid veteran. She's a dog, and that's how she fights. You never go out there and say, oh, she's the most technical striker. You never say that. I'm wild by her technique on the feet. Or I'm wild by her grab technique. But you are wild by her heart, her tenacity. That's a big facet, but I think she's kind of getting up there in age. She's a veteran. And I just don't think this is going to be her championship effort. I think Mayra Bueno Silva is, moving in the right developments. I think she's still 28, not even in her 30s yet. And I think she's only going to get better. And as good as she looked in her last fight, despite it turned into a no contest, I think she's going to look better in this one. I think she's the better striker, to be honest. I think she can match her aggression. I think she can match her grit of Raquel Pennington. I think she's a much better submission grappler. I think they're going to go and they're going to have a scrappy fight, but I think Mayra Bueno Silva is going to be landing the heavy shots, and she's going to start to overwhelm and break down Raquel Pennington in a firefight. Probably, first round be real back and forth. Second round, you start to see break away a little bit. The third round, you start to see Raquel Pennington and wilt. Then she starts to wilt. You're probably going to see Mayra Bueno Silva start to pressure more, load up more, land bigger shots, start to have Raquel Pennington probably start wrestling or start to cover a little bit so that Bueno Silva could duck under, drag her to the mat. Then from there, heavy ground and pound, and then jump on the submission and tap Raquel Pennington out in the third round. So in this one, I got Mayra Bueno Silva via third round submission. Now over to NickyBets.
Yeah, I'm leaning Mayra Bueno Silva, especially at -166. I think it's too juicy not to take. It's a beautiful number. Much like the next fight, I think this fight is going to be exciting. I just think that Mayra Bueno Silva is probably just a little bit better, a little bit younger, and a little bit faster. They're both really skilled at what they do, and I love watching both of them fight. I just have to lean Mayra Bueno Silva in this one. I'll probably bet at money line. I do like the over on this one as well, and possibly the under 3.5. We'll see. I think I'm gonna have to watch a couple more fights and put a little bit more, information in the bank and make a decision there. But I like Mayra Bueno Silva. I'll probably say by third round sub.
All right, cool. Now to our next one, we have in the middleweight division in our main event, we have in the middleweight division for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world or of the UFC, we got Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. So Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. How I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence Sean Strickland to beat Dricus Du Plessis. And yeah, I think Dricus is a solid competitor. I think his striking looks like pretty much like not even the male version, but like the equivalent of what's her name? Juliana Pena. Like look at Juliana Pena striking, look at Dricus Du Plessis striking, same exact thing. It's not a case, oh, he like the male version, like the better male version, like the same exact striking, except he's in a male body, but equivalent striking. It's not a male version, it's just a male throwing the strikes. That's the only difference. Pretty sloppy, but he makes it work. He's physically strong and like sneakily strong, and could body lock you, take you down, and enforce the will on you. Pretty solid grappling department. Okay enough, and nothing super wow about it. But I'll say his physique and physical prowess is probably more impressive than anything about him. More than striking, more than his IQ. Solid enough fighter. But I think Sean Strickland's prepared for what Jourdain Decision brings. I think it definitely he's a wild guy to deal with, and maybe the pressure, maybe we'll see something not, especially coming to that performance of Jourdain Decision, you can't count him out, so that's why it's just average. But I think Sean Strickland's prepared for him. That's what he trains for. He trains for chaos all the time. We look at gym fights and his gym spars, they look like how I imagine the fight go. Both guys probably swinging big shots and trading. But, even though Sean Strickland will say I'm wild, he's still been defensively sound in there where Jourdain Decision is, running over his strikes, chin up in the air, doing sloppy shots where Strickland still standing guard, rolling with shots, countering him, and staying clean. Like they both be trading, kind of similar to way back when Gilbert Melendez fought Deion Sanders. Yes, they both were swinging wild at times, but we look at the fight, really look at it, not just look at it as a retarded fan, but like somebody that's legit, got an eye for the game. Gilbert Melendez, they both were trading, but Gilbert Melendez was rolling the shot. Deion Sanders was eating them. Like, yes, it's a wild looking fight, but Gilbert Melendez was staying solid. Like I can imagine that fight. Yes, they both play trading, but it's probably like Sean Strickland will be blocking 70%. Jourdain Decision will be getting hit with 70% of the strikes. That's how look. Well, probably maybe 60%, 60%. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking too much, but yeah, I just feel like Sean Strickland is prepared for what Jourdain Decision is bringing out there. And I feel like the chaos that he trains in is exactly what Jourdain Decision is, and it's not even intentional. He's always been training for that type of fight that Jourdain Decision is going to look to bring out of him. And I think he's going to bring out the best Sean Strickland. And I think he's going to be able to push that pace. I think Jourdain Decision, even with his fixed nose, is not going to be able to keep that pace. He's going to try to go for these takedowns, have limited success, but Sean Strickland's going to stand back up, sticking with the jab, roll his shots, counter him, rip him to the body, let Jourdain get that off and still be countering the whole time and, engaging him. But then Sean Strickland not going to dip off. He's going to be able to keep that same pace the whole fight as he does. That's like his cardio and his pacing is one of his biggest strengths. His defense, his cardio, his durability, and consistency. And Jourdain's going to try to match that, but he's not going to be able to keep it up. And Sean Strickland is, then he's going to start to walk him down, stalk him. And, you're going to see Jourdain Decision's offense drop from, not being able to keep that pace. Then also when he starts to take damage, his pace is going to drop even more. And I see Sean Strickland put him away in the fourth round after a wild, fun fight. So in this one, I got Sean Strickland via fourth round TKO. Not over to NickyBets.
It's so hard not to lean Sean Strickland when in his last fight he wowed me like completely, and I was so grateful that I saw the video of him fighting 3 dudes in his gym at once. Chris Curtis was one of them. I think it might have been 2, but they were just throwing shots at him. He was just rolling them. Like he does a Philly shell with like a 4 to 6 ounce glove. Like dude's a psychopath. So I would never count him out. I like Jourdain Decision by TKO. I don't think he could ever submit Sean Strickland. I don't think Sean Strickland would allow that. I think Jourdain might be able to get him like Alex Pereira did and just get very lucky. If that doesn't happen, I see Sean Strickland just wearing him out. And I know Jourdain has gotten that surgery on his nose, so he's significantly better. But I do like Sean Strickland in this one. I'll probably bet it multiple ways just to get the most bang for my buck. But I do like Sean Strickland inside the distance.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's our predictions. Down onto the parlays, and get right into it. So my parlay for this week, or public parlay for this week, will be Jillian Robertson, Malcolm Gordon, and Jasudavicius. So again, Jillian Robertson, Malcolm Gordon, and Jasudavicius. So those are the 3. Now up to NickyBets.
Yeah, I like that. That's the Canada card. I really like that one. I'm gonna go Sean Strickland's fight not to go the distance. Myro Bueno Silva's fight to not go the distance. Marc-Andre Barriault, the Arnold Allen over 1.5, and finally I'll take Charles Jourdain. So Charles Jourdain over 1.5 in the Arnold Allen fight. Marc-Andre Barriault, Myro Bueno Silva's fight not to go the distance, and Sean Strickland's fight not to go the distance.
All right, pretty solid, pretty long parlay. Get some great value there. So
yeah. Listen, just if you hear one you like, just grab it. Those are all things that I think will do well. So don't make a whole parlay out of it. But if you hear one of mine you like, one of his you like, pick it and use it for your own bet if you believe in it.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's our picks and parlays, and that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.